Back here on Sports Talk on the Big 870 WWL. Mike to tell you along with Deuce McAllister, Charlie Long running things on the board. And Deuce, we talked a little bit about it, but Bijan Robinson, who I think is the most dominant offensive player in the NFC South, signed a new 3-year contract extension up to $75 million. A record $51 million guaranteed, $37 million. Miss Nicole Lynn did a nice job with that contract, 37 right when he signed it. And you look at, they put a lot of eggs in the basket. For Bijan, you have no idea who's going to be the quarterback there. Drake London's a good player. I'll give it to him. And Kyle Pitts, let's see if he can back-to-back it because he hasn't been able to do it. Their defense was known for putting pressure. Now you don't have Jalen Walker. Will the NFL step in with the James Pearce situation of the offseason now? That's something else that's sort of losing for Atlanta. But your thoughts on that running back?
What are your thoughts there on Pearce as far as what the NFL does? I mean, what happened, it is what it is. That won't change. Whether
I think he gets a slight suspension.
Yeah, whether
couple game suspension.
I'll be intrigued how the NFL handles it, just because it has always been, regardless of.
He's lucky to survive that.
Jail time is, I don't want to say harsh, but that could possibly be the case. I think he's first-time offender situation where that may not be the case, and he's going to end up paying a whole bunch of money and some other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But we're just talking about the football side of it. I don't know. I'll be intrigued to see how they handle it, that being the league, because normally in a situation like that, you're not even going to be able to practice. They put you on the commissioner's suspension list. And some of those guys, in certain situations, they need the structure. They need to be around other players, at least better influences. Because if they're not in the building, just like we talked about the working out in part, you're probably just exposing them to more bad stuff.
You heard it like I did. He was a lone wolf at Tennessee. Yeah. Sort of a loner. Hey, don't get around me. Hey, bring me there on Saturday. I'm going to play. But okay, let me do what I got to do.
Yep.
That was just his personality. But then to snap like he did, I remember we had Orlando Ledbetter that said, I know initially, Mike, he's lucky to be alive.
100%.
That maybe, because like he said, we've all seen things where maybe, somebody gets over aggressive in this and he gets shot in the process.
But I mean, you look at some of the actions.
You understand.
Yes. And like I said, you go be the judge. You make your own decisions. You kind of look it up. But just from what we know and what I know and what I saw, you're 100% correct there. But when it comes back down just to the football side of it, I would be surprised if it is not at least anywhere between 4 to 6 games.
See, that'd surprise me if it was that much. I think it'll be lighter than that, only because this is the first time.
Yeah, but when they did the new CBA, there was some kind of hard line. Hey,
But some of that language is so hard to understand.
Well, it's hard to understand, and you can either challenge it or, you can try to fight it, or you can't. And so his will be because it's my first time. And some of it will be, well, it doesn't matter if it's your first time. It's because of what happened. And just because from a legal standpoint, you may not be punished, but from an image standpoint, we know the league is going to take some type of punishment.
Yeah, I have no doubt of that. But your thoughts on the new deal for Bijan?
Yeah, now to go back to Bijan, NFC South, best offensive weapon, I would probably agree. And I would almost say top 5 NFC, period. Maybe even higher.
I agree.
Maybe even higher when you talk about just NFC, top 5, maybe a little bit higher NFC. He is a dynamic player. He's a really, really good player. The only question, after watching him over the years when the Saints play him, the Saints have had a ton of success playing him. Now, Bijan's, you can go back and you think about the catch in the Superdome up the sideline. I think it was the left side, and he's made some plays, and he's been impactful. But overall, when you look at that talent and how the Saints have kind of made him bottle that talent up, and they had to lean on Algier.
Yeah. He's not there anymore.
Correct. And so it'll be intriguing. The biggest thing with Atlanta, you talk about re-upping, I think, one of their guards. You re-upped Kyle Pitts. You re-up London. Drake London. You re-up him. You re-up Bijan. But what do you do at quarterback? I mean, there's only so much. And at the end of the day, you have a new head coach. And so I think that they will be better. I don't know how much better, just because there's so many question marks at the quarterback position.
I think if they had a top quarterback, and I was told this by somebody who sets lines, they would be the favorite in the NFC South.
They would be close favorites in the NFC in general, just because of how explosive you are offensively. You've got weapons galore. But if I am going to tell the quarterback, all right, you got to beat me, then I don't know if they can do it. They may be better off, and this is just being honest. They may be better off with a veteran journeyman quarterback.
Well, they thought they did that with Kurt.
Well, but Kurt was coming off an injury.
Yeah.
He was coming off an injury, and he was never the same.
It was a freak deal.
Yeah.
Because you sign him, and then you pick Michael Penix Jr. in round 1.
Correct.
What message did that send to the rest of the team?
Well,
also
to the rest of the team, but with Kirk's contract, it was basically guaranteed anyway.
and it don't matter to him.
Yeah, it didn't matter to him. I mean, his feelings were hurt, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was just like, man. But I mean, with all of the weapons that they have on the outside, and offensive line has always been good. I know they lost their offensive line coach, with the turnover. But, I'm just intrigued. Their defense was good enough. They were getting better. They had a ton of speed. Like I said, I think defensively they'll be okay. But what do you do quarterback-wise? Because Bijan, he's a really, really good player. He is a really good player. And I think with Drake and Pitts, you've got to figure out, all right, which one can I, quote-unquote, take away, and which one do I feel like that I can beat or make him not allow him to beat me? And then after that, can you put points on the board yourself?
We had just finished the Monday night show at the Slipper, and so we finish eating, and we go and we see that great Monday night game he had, and somebody had a little wager, and they were like, please just slow him down. I'm not talking about stop him, slow him down. And then you would figure he hits the big run and makes the score. But that's the type of athlete Bijan Robinson is. We saw it at Texas. Now we've seen it certainly with the Falcons and with not a lot of help at the quarterback position. The other deal today that I thought was really intriguing, Darnell Wright. We talked about him when he got picked. Guy from University of Tennessee, a load of potential. He signed a 4-year, $116 million deal, $93 million guaranteed. He plays right tackle.
That one is interesting, but I thought you were going to go to the Zay Flowers, the Baltimore receiver.
Man, receivers get paid today.
Yeah, but I mean, that one in the amount, the average year, that one is surprising. Now, give me Darnell Wright's numbers again for a right tackle.
4-year, $116, $93 guaranteed.
The 93 guaranteed is the surprising part. The 116, I don't want to say isn't surprising because a lot of times that's the fluff. But the 93 over 4 is what he will see. And what I mean by that, that's guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Regardless of how good he is, regardless of how bad he is, that you're going to see that unless you just do something silly off the field and now they can get voids and all that stuff. Mike, I can't say that I watch a ton of Chicago. I can't say that I watch a ton.
Now, he was a bad man last year on the field, but man, for a right tackle.
I don't know if he's that bad though, Mike. I mean, are there plans to move him to the left?
No.
I mean, and so if you're going to keep him at the right, then 3rd and 1, 2nd and 1.
Hey, guess where I'm going?
I'm going behind my money. I'm going behind the moneymaker, and I just don't see it. I mean, maybe I need, like I said, I hadn't watched a ton of Chicago football either. You hear about Caleb and the weapons that he has and the tight ends and the toys and the different things like that. But
they protected him last year.
Well, they protected him because of the system, though.
Yeah.
Well, it's the system.
What Ben Johnson does, fantastic.
Yeah, it was because of the system. I mean, Caleb's still going to go off schedule. He's going to get off schedule at some point. I mean, but I just don't know if I like that number. But, like I said, I need to watch Chicago a little bit more. Now, the Zay Flowers, you mean to tell me, Zay, I don't want to hate on the player because it is the game.
It's the game.
It's the game. But do you know who he's tied with in average per year?
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jetta Jefferson. Now, Justin may have not had a quarterback. Me and you could have gone and thrown to allow him to have the numbers that he's had kind of the last couple of years. But I kind of know what type of player he is. And when I see that number and those two names side by side, I have to kind of squint my eyes and make sure I'm looking at the same, type of players. Now, I have seen Baltimore a little bit more than Chicago, but I'm not paying the kid that's tied for 4th with Justin Jefferson. Not that.
But it is the market. And we seeing it, Deuce. Andrew Brandt came on yesterday. I told him the story about a guy I've known from, he started coaching on the Bayou at Nicholls State. Ends up being a general manager, okay, with the Tennessee Titans. He refused to play A.J. Brown $22 million a year. $22 million a year. So he trades him to Philly.
Yeah.
Now, he gets fired because of it, because of that deal. $22 million. Man, they got number 2 receivers making much more money than that.
Number 3 is
that's unbelievable.
Your twos are making 28 now. That's what your twos are making.
And look what T. Higgins is making.
Yeah, and so that's the range there. So here's what I say. When you talk about the market, and that's just what the market is, that doesn't mean I have to pay it. There's some other avenues and ways, I want you to be happy, but I don't know if I'm going to make you that happy. And I'm just being honest. I want you happy. I don't want anything in the locker room.
I don't want you to be thrilled.
Yeah, well, I mean, but right now we got took to the ringer. So are you telling me going forward that their whole system and scheme is going to evolve around?
No.
It has to.
It's not. It's never been totally around a receiver. Who they pump the ball to? Isaiah Likely? Mark Andrews, tight ends.
And I think they lost Likely, though, didn't they?
To the Giants.
Yeah, to the Giants. I mean, so he's gone. So we know, all right, there's some touches may be available there. But they drafted another big receiver, a physical guy, maybe before or after.
Yeah, Jacoby Lane.
But, I mean, that offense is not built. It's not built that way. It's just it's not.
Man, I just turn around and hand that football to Derrick Henry.
Well, even if he's not there, I'm gonna lean on Lamar a little bit more. I mean, all right. Oh man,
hey,
that's all I can say.
It's great to be young and playing in the NFL and playing receiver.
Oh, yes, indeed.